Alright y'all, it's Alexis, Sophia Leather. Alright, this video is going to be part 2 of this radio strap build. No edit, I'm not going to edit at all. It's just a complete video, unedited. My son's in the background over there on a treadmill. No, you're fine. And you have a beautiful view of my garage that's really not as tidy as I'd like it to be. I need to do something right over here, but you guys are not here for this. That's why you guys are not here. The other thing is, it's going to be a no edit. However, I might stop it just to get a better view because I'm going to be stitching today on the sewing machine. Also, I'm going to be clicking, so you're not going to be able to see that if I keep the camera right here on the table. So I'll only cut just to change positions, or maybe I'll just change the orientation of the camera. I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's that. If you guys want to learn how to make these radio straps yourself, I have a build along video right here. As well as downloadable templates, and I also have on my website sophialeather.com you can actually buy the pre-punched, pre-strapped kit where you can put it together yourself with the hardware you want. All that comes, everything included except the stitching, gluing, stamping, coloring, and assembling, but that marries well with the template, so you guys can do that. And yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna change the camera angle. So bear with me because this is a no edit job. And we're gonna start right here. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. I gotta change this guy. Is this good though? I don't even know. Alright, so we left off with gluing this back piece here, right? Is this bad? It's bad. Alright, we left off by gluing this back piece. So we're gonna trim this off. And the way I trim this off, guys, is I use, if I can get it to focus, I use this number 11, I think, X-Acto blade, and these blades are like 17 cents each, and it lasts a couple of straps, and it's sharp every time. Alright, this is what I use to cut everything. So what I'm going to do is simply ride the line there like this and cut that way. That's all I'm going to do. And you'll notice that I'm not going to touch these ends just yet, because instead of cutting this freehand, I'll just use the existing punch that I used to make this radius, and I'll cut it off that way. It's a lot easier. So now I'm getting it ready for the sewing machine, and the reason why is because, I'll show you when I get there, you can actually run this just as is through the sewing machine if you freehand and don't use the guided wheel. Roller. I use a guided roller, and what happens is, this is 5-ounce leather. The backing is 5 ounce. So if you see how thick that is, that actually ends up touching the roller and rendering it useless, because I want the roller to roll on this finished edge. So what you could do, if you don't want to trim it and then run it through a sewing machine, is you can use like a 2 to 3 ounce in the back versus 5 ounce. 2 to 3 ounce will slip underneath that guided roller, and that roller will end up touching the wall here, and this back piece will end up going underneath it. But the 5 ounce is a little too thick for that. I like the total thickness of this, which is 9 ounce on top, 5 ounce on the bottom. You could do like a 12 ounce on top and a 2 to 3 ounce on the bottom, and then you won't have that issue with the guided roller on the Cobra Class 4. That was a mouthful. I did good, right? I think you did good. Thank you, bro. Alright, so real simply, I'm just gonna go ahead and, if this knife feels like it's not cutting, then I'll just simply throw out the 17 cents blade, and that's it. This is real time. I'm doing it for you. It's actually less work when I have to edit the video anyway. Yeah, let me know if you guys like these kind of videos down below. I had a couple comments on the first one. It doesn't do as good, these videos, but I'm not on YouTube to be a super YouTuber, just to help you guys learn how to do this and also sell my patterns. I make way more money. It's more lucrative for me to sell a pattern than it is trying to make 4 cents on 1,000 views, you know what I mean? So that's the deal with that. Now, as far as drying time, I've done it as soon as 1 hour. Like, I glued this and then I ran it through the sewing machine, like just letting it sit for an hour. Ideally, you want it to really settle and cure. You really want it to be at least 12 hours or whatever your adhesive says. I'd follow those recommendations. But I've done it like an hour after gluing. You done, buddy?
No.
How much time you? How much?
2.
Nice. So look how clean that is. That's super clean. You know? So I've run it through the sewing machine literally an hour after I glued it, and it was fine. I never had a problem. But if you have time, let it sit. But you can get a lot done in those 12 hours, you know what I mean? I typically glue it like this, and the next day I'll start this process. But while this is curing, you can get all the other smaller pieces going and get everything beveled and burnished, all the other pieces, and hit this one last. So that's always an option. And I think this guy wants black stitching. We're gonna confirm that. And if it's black stitching, I already have it set up on the sewing machine. If not, you're gonna see me change the thread. It's a Cobra Class 4. I'll talk more about it when I get there. And I use size 207 thread, mainly because the 277 is the thickest, or I prefer the 277 the way it looks. It's a little chunkier. However, I haven't found much luck on getting different kind of funky colors as far as the stitch concerned. I think there's more options with the 207 thread, and it still looks pretty clean. I mean, that's what you see on all my leather is a 207 thread. And I get all my thread from the Thread Exchange. The Thread Exchange. I have a video playlist on thread, where I get my sewing thread, hand stitch, all that stuff. It's in there. The playlist, leather crafting tips playlist. Alright, so now I'm done with this guy. I'm going to put it away, and I'm going to show you what I do to get rid of that. I'm not going to cut that by hand. That's a hot mess. That's a hot mess. Check out how easy peasy this is right here. Let me see if I can zoom in job for you. See? Watch what I'm gonna do right here. Watch. I'm trying to get it. I'm gonna use the same tool that I used to actually make that radius, and it'll be exact. So a little bit of noise here. I'm gonna put it on there. A little tip: if you come straight down, you'll have a little lip. So I always kind of put it in a little bit of an angle, so I can cut down, so it doesn't leave that nasty lip. See? Isn't that a lot easier? We'll see how much we get done. I'm only going to hit about 30 minutes today. And we'll stop it at 30 minutes so it's not too long. This is an organic, real-time build here for you guys. And I always say I'm not going to talk much, but I end up talking too much. It almost feels like a live video, to be honest with you. Let's zoom her out. Let's zoom her out. Alright, so you done, buddy?
Yeah.
Can I unplug this for you?
Sure. Wait, then, test something. No.
What?
I'm just using momentum to make it go over. Alright. Love you, buddy. I was going to confirm real quick with the stitch color. Stitch color. Hold on, guys. My fan's blowing because it's really hot. This is Fulton, and you want it black stitch and shiny brass. Black stitch and shiny brass. So I'm gonna go ahead and secure that brass right now. Don't forget shiny brass. Shiny brass radio strap. Come on now, where you going brown? Oh, actually, there you go right here. Shiny brass radio strap. Come on now. I already have it pre-punched. This is how they come. Your hardware comes when you order a radio strap kit. I have everything you need, all the hardware in a bag. But instead of me rummaging through my boxes, I'll just grab one of these. We'll leave that there. Now I'm committed to that.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and change the camera angle for you guys. I'm gonna put the camera right here so you can see me run this sewing machine. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna see if I can do it live, y'all. Hold on, Blair Witch alert. Blair Witch alert. Oh, you guys can see my nasty. You guys are gonna see my nasty. Whoa, that's the wrong thing. All right, that worked out pretty good. Is that a good shot? Oh, it's gonna have to be. All right, so are you gonna see me in the way here? Am I gonna be in the way here? All right, black stitch. So if you notice back here, I have this covered. I don't know why. This is like a myth of mine. I don't want the sun to deteriorate the thread, so I cover it with a rag. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but it is for me at this point. I'm gonna make sure I have enough bobbin down here, and I do. That's a new bobbin. So my bobbin color, if you notice, is all natural. It's always gonna be this natural color back here. My bobbin, in other words, the color underneath the leather is always this natural color, and that is because I can preload a whole bunch of bobbins. Number one. Number two, it matches nicely with the backing material that I have here. So it's all uniform. All my straps look the same. The bottom's gonna be natural. It's gonna look really good with the actual backing leather that's there now. And I don't have to mess with different colored bobbins. I just preload a whole bunch and I leave that there. It's committed there, that bobbin color. And that's it. The only thing I have to change is the thread. And this one is brown. I'm sorry, black. And luckily the last two orders are black stitch, which means that saves me about 10 minutes of thread change time. And sometimes what I do sometimes is if I have, let's say, one order came in black stitch, another one came in brown, then another one black, I'll go ahead and bump the two black. I do them back to back. This way I don't have to change the thing. As long as I'm within the lead time, I'll do that. You know. Let me see if I can change it this way just a tad, so you can see. I don't know what's the best view, but it's gonna have to do like that. All right, so this is not a tutorial on the Cobra Class 4. However, I will give you some tips, and that is this light right here is always on. All right. Now the reason why you don't see the light on right now is because the whole machine is not on. This is a Don Gonzalez tip because this machine is so quiet that you won't recognize this on. So the only way you know it's on is if that light is on. So if I cut the whole machine on, you'll see that light. That to me indicates that this machine is on. If I manually turn this off, I will not know if this machine's on or off. I won't. So keep this light on all the time and cut the main power to your machine on or off. The second thing I do is I leave it off. I don't touch anything. Is I check the wheel, the flywheel, make sure there is nothing caught up or hung up in the flywheel, any cords or any other thread. I make sure nothing's hung up on the thread. Everything looks good. So I'm good to go. The other thing is I keep a scrap piece and I run a test piece before every piece. You'll notice that here that I use a scrap piece just to do some test runs. That does a couple things. I want to make sure the tension is right on the front and the back, right? As well as the spacing, as well as my guide wheel is good to go. Let me show you that guide wheel so I can show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I could do this for you guys and leave it like that. I'll do it like that, y'all, so you can see the background of my boxes. That guide wheel right here, there's a small gap under here, and that's what I was referring to. If your backing material is thin enough, it'll slide under that guide wheel, and you won't need to trim it off. But my backing is a little too thick for that, and shouldn't be a problem because I let my glue sit for a while, so it's not going to peel off the edges. The next thing I do is I turn it on. I always look. All right, looks good. I'll lift this up, and we're going to do a couple of test pieces here. A quick little test run. I'll make sure this is on forward, and give it a go here. I usually do about 10-15 stitches. That's good. I turn it off. I always turn it off. And I think we're good to go, my friends. Is it gonna, there you go. So I don't see any of the natural peeking through. I don't see any of the black peeking through the back. The tension is good. This machine is committed to straps, so I never mess with anything. The only thing I ever mess with is the thread. That keeps everything super efficient. And I know guys that buy two machines because they don't want to constantly mess with the settings. They actually save money buying a separate machine. Hold on. Now we're gonna stitch this, and I think I'm coming up to about maybe 15 minutes in this video. I don't know, but yeah. Now a couple of things to know. This is the back, and I'm gonna start here because the trigger snap. Sorry, it's hard. The trigger snap is here, and there's a little piece that loops over, and that's gonna hide the start and stop. Over here is the front of the strap. This is the front of the strap. This is what people are gonna see. So I wanna make that corner there, that round corner, nice and neat. I'll show you what that looks like when I get there. But basically, I'm gonna start on the back. The machine is off. I always turn the machine off, and I go by hand right here. Start right there. And hold it, and I always make this turn by hand. I know that you professional sewing machine artists are gonna make fun of me, but this has worked for me, and I wanna make sure that it looks nice and tight. You know, if it takes another 5 minutes to make sure that your corners are good, I'm willing to do that. My name's on this product, you know what I mean? I feel like you have way more control doing it manually on the turn. So once I hit about 2 stitches on a straight run, I'll once again check, make sure nothing's hung up. Nothing's hung up. My thread is free, I'm not snagged on anything. I turn it on, and you'll notice that my speed is slow. I have it set to 14. That's the speed I have it set to. Wide open is I'm comfortable with the speed. And don't forget that I come from a hand stitching background, so the speed of 14 is actually slow for these machines. But to me, it's a million times faster than hand stitching. Hand stitching a strap like this will take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, versus on the slow side of the sewing machine, which is this speed right here, you'll see is only going to take 5 minutes. So, and I could probably do it in 2 minutes if I want super sonic speed, but I feel like you can introduce a lot more mistakes doing it that way. It's not worth the risk to me. Now, if I was doing nothing but belts all day, 100 belts, that would make a difference. You know what I mean? But to me, I'm gonna keep it nice and smooth like this. Can you guys see? Oh, you guys can see my mustache on there? Oh, you guys are nice. You guys are nice. But I want to show you in real time how long this takes. And when I get to the front, you'll notice how I navigate this corner. And you're gonna make fun of me, and that's okay. I don't want to mess up at this point. You know what I mean? One thing about these machines is if you have something and it's working, don't mess with it. Don't mess with tensions. Just leave it as is if you like the result. Because once you start messing with the tension knobs, it affects other spots, other tensions, and you'll end up regretting that decision. I'm kind of focused right now, so all I'm doing here is I'm making sure that the edge is touching that guide roller. You notice I didn't measure anything. This guide roller is committed. The way I double check that obviously is that piece in the front, that sample piece that I did. That just confirms my spacing, my stitches, everything's working right. All right, right when I get to right here, I literally turn the machine off and I manually do it by hand. You can't see it, but I'm turning the flywheel with my hand. See this flywheel? I'm turning it by hand. So So let's go ahead and do that. Because this is the front, this is what people are going to see, and I want this to be nice and neat and tidy. So if this takes me another 20 seconds, you know, I'm going to avoid like overshooting it and looking really wonky. So I just take my time right here, and I always turn the machine off just in case I don't want to step on the pedal by accident. You know? So right here, now I'm back on the straight run. I'm going to do one more stitch. I'm going to turn it back on, and we're going to go for it. Sorry if I'm not talking. I'm kind of focused right here. And I think the next set of suspenders is going to be black stitching as well. The only thing I have to do is make sure I have enough thread in the bobbin. That bobbin on the bottom, by the way, for what I do, it probably can do 3 radio straps or 3 suspenders. That's kind of close. So I might be a little wasteful, but I only do effectively 2 radio straps or 2 suspenders, or 1 radio strap and 1 suspender max, and then I retrain the bobbin. Every time I do that, there's a little less than half, and I'm always afraid I'm going to run out. So the thread is not expensive, and I just keep that cost because I want it to be, I'm trying to avoid problems or pitfalls. You know, I'm not going to introduce, you know, a $100 problem just to save, you know, 20 cents a thread. So I eat some of the cost because I'm a stickler for little detail stuff like this, and I want to make sure that I'm trying to avoid any pitfalls whatsoever. In the long run, that's almost like you're almost paying an insurance policy, and really it's not that much money, you know. I shoot for about around $30 an hour, and that's at a really slow speed, not a breakneck speed. So I know that no matter what I do, I'm going to make 30 bucks an hour. If I hustle, I could probably make 40 bucks an hour. Yeah, that's my strategy on that. When I get to right down here, I do the same thing. I cut it off. I go ahead and have to snip these little end guys here. I don't want that to get hung up on anything. But right here, I'm going to do it by hand again. And you could get kind of detailed. You want to make sure you end up on the first hole and overlap it again. See right here. So I might have to lift the foot up a little bit and bring this down. All right, that's it. So I just overlapped the last hole. You have to fudge it a little bit at the end there. And let me explain to you why I start and stop where I do. And to me, this is clean. But look at where I started and where I stopped. See, it's still a little messy. That's gonna get covered up. And versus the front where I did it by hand. You see that? That's clean. Alright, let me change the camera angle. Hold on. Some more Blair Witch scenario for you here. I think we're coming up on 20 minutes or so. I think I'm probably going to end up calling the video. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the items out. So this is the radio strap completely stitched. I'm going to get the rest of the pieces here. And I pre-punch a whole bunch of, I pre-punch everything as far as my holster. So I have all my holster stuff right here for the actual radio bucket. I'm going to go ahead and grab these. Of course, you can, you're going to have to do this by hand, or you can just buy one of my kits that has everything. that is all of the material that's needed for the actual holster itself. For the holster itself. All right. This is the holster assembly right here. Do you guys mind? Do you guys mind stop yelling at me? All right, so this is the holster material right here. All the pieces for the holster, the radio bucket. I said that a million times. I keep repeating myself. I'll be quiet and move on. Now I have to pre-punch those other smaller pieces. The vertical lapel mic, the cord keeper, the back piece here for the trigger snap, as well as the other piece here that's gonna be the adjustment piece where the buckle sits on. Because this is an adjustable radio strap. That part doesn't get stitched because I like a low profile. I don't want it to be too gaudy and too thick. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out. We're gonna go ahead and use my clicker, and I don't think I have to stop the video. I'm gonna go ahead and just use the clicker. But before we do that, I got one thing I have to do real quick, and that is my maker's mark. I used to do the maker's mark before I stitched, but now I'm doing it after I stitch because I can shoot the gap a little easier. I'll really make sure I get in between the stitch and it looks a little cleaner. My maker's mark goes here. Quick little note on your maker's mark, put an arrow which way faces up because I've done it upside down before and I have to redo the whole strap. So I like this. See, doing this after it's stitched, I can shoot the gap and make it a little cleaner versus doing it before I stitch. So that's one thing that I've changed. I'll show you what this looks like after. See, to me that looks a little cleaner. You know what I mean? All right, we're gonna go ahead and pre-punch the other stuff in like 5 or 10 minutes, and then this video's done. We'll pick up again later on. So let me change this real quick. If you don't mind, if you could stop yelling at me, that'd be great, everyone. That'd be great, everyone. I think that's a good view. If not, then you're gonna have to deal with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, good view. All right. So I have all my dies right here. Radio strap. Hold on, y'all. Like I said, all these pieces are included in the kit. I keep trying to upsell you the kit, but you don't have to do hardly any of this. You just gotta assemble it or stitch it, hand stitch it, whatever you want to do. Now this die is actually for my suspenders, but I repurpose it and use it for my radio strap as well. So I'm repurposing a lot of my dies for different things. That's why you guys see on my bags a lot of similar features, is because I'm literally repurposing the dies for different parts. That'll save you some money, obviously. So you see that? Typically, there's 2 more holes on there, but all I'm gonna do is cut it off, and this is my little adjustment piece where the buckle sits that slides into the radio strap. So I just repurposed that die. I'll show you how I finished that at the end. And now I have a couple more items. This is the trigger snap holder. This is where the trigger snap goes. I need 2 of those. This machine and the sewing machine is where I saved all my money, and it's where I make all my money. So those 2 pieces, and I need 2 more pieces. This is garbage. Now I ran out of material. This is why I used that leftover piece. This is the buck brown here. This is the neck. This is why I keep the neck. That is not the neck for buck brown. This is the neck for buck brown. That was medium brown, I showed you y'all. So the neck, if you guys watch my other videos, the neck is what I use for little small pieces, as you can see, right? I need the lapel mic. That's right here. This part, I want to make sure I get a nice thick piece, not a floppy belly piece. So just make sure you recon your piece and get a solid piece, not a crappy piece. This is the vertical lapel mic. And now we need the cord keepers, which I repurposed. And these are actually the belt loop keepers for my suspenders that I repurposed and turned them into cord keepers. Same design, really. There's one there. One there. And the next video I'll show you how to assemble all this. Although I have it all on my YouTube channel, it's all in there. Feel free. One more and then we're done clicking. We just got to finish that buckle end and then the video is done. That's 2. I'm going to put this away. Where are we at? Like 20 minutes or something like that? 25 minutes? I don't know. Alright, let's change camera angles. And let me show you what I do here. Okay. So. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to get a good angle, y'all. This is real time. Stop yelling. Stop yelling at me. Alright. All the holster pieces here. And these are all the other pieces that's going to go. It's hard to see where this goes. These are all the other pieces that's going to go with the holster. I'm sorry, with the radio strap. This is the buckle end. And let me show you what I do. I cut it short. The buckles go there. This is for the belt loop keeper, the belt keeper. And this is the hole that the trigger snap's going to go. All I got to do is cut off a little bit and mark that end there. And of course use the same tool to finish this off. And then we're done. And I'll do an outro and I'll show you what it's all about. Dunskies. I made that in the garbage, by the way. I don't know if you care or not, but I did. And there she goes. That's all the pieces right there. All the pieces. Let me do an outro. I'm gonna do a little outro right here. I'm gonna sit down for the outro. Right by my awesome view of the refrigerator. Oh, come on, man. All right, y'all. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. If you guys like this kind of videos, let me know. Part 3 is gonna be beveling, burnishing all these pieces. That's probably part 3. Part 4 is probably going to be assembly, and then most likely that's going to be it. But thanks for watching. God bless you. Have a good night. Thank you very much. Let me know in the comments below if you like these videos. Bye.